Alright, hello and welcome back. Hold on, why? Oh, there we go. Right, welcome back to week 3 of the Premier League match week predictions. I forgot to do these yesterday, to be honest with you. And it's a little bit late to do them because the games kick off at 12:30 today, but I just want to put out there that this is being streamed or whatever at 11, so it's before the actual matches take place. I'm not going to guess the scorelines correctly after the thing, so just be aware of that. So I'm just going to check last week's scorelines and we'll get into this. Right, so I don't know how many I got right. I don't. Where are you? There they are. Right, okay, sweet. So am I am I okay? I just didn't click on the right thing. Right, okay, cool. So for week 2 then, I got. I got none of them right, but I was close to a lot of them, apart from maybe one where I was way off. But yeah, no score predictions correct last week. But one was a bit mad, so I'm not taking full responsibility for that one. So taking a look at them, it was I put Brighton nil, Man United 1. The score was Brighton 2, Man United 1. Yeah, we lost. I hate this club sometimes. I put Palace 1, West Ham 1. It was not that match just yet. I put Spurs 2, Everton nil. It was Spurs 4, Everton nil. I put Palace 1, West Ham 1. It was Palace nil, West Ham 2. I put Southampton nil, Nottingham Forest nil. It's Southampton nil, Nottingham Forest 1. I put Fulham 1, Leicester 1. It was Fulham 2, Leicester 1. I swear I'm one goal off each time. I put Man City 3, Ipswich nil. It was Man City 4, Ipswich 1. So I got the goal difference right. I put Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 2. It was Aston Villa nil, Arsenal 2. I put Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 2, and it was Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1. This is the one that's the furthest off, I think. I put Wolves 2, Chelsea 3. It was Wolves 2, Chelsea 6. I don't know how they managed to conjure 6 goals up, but fair play to them, I suppose. Liverpool 2, Brentford 1. It was Liverpool 2, Brentford nil. So yeah, a grand total of 0 games predicted correctly by me. Fantastic for me there. So, without any further ado, we should get into what we've got today. We've got 10 games, obviously, as usual. The one that'll be going on in the background is the Derby this weekend. I have absolutely no hope for us, but you just never know. We play on Sunday, thankfully, so I don't have to watch it today. And yeah, of course, Manchester United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford. It is going to be an interesting match, but I just, at the moment, I still don't have enough confidence in us to get a result. We don't have Agarte, don't have Chiesa yet, though, to be fair, the 2 new signings for each club. But we're still not wholly confident. But anyway, without any further ado, I'm just going to switch the time because it's actually taking place at 4 p.m. rather than 1 p.m. I think that was a Brighton game. I put 1 p.m. So we'll just mosey that over there and we will go into the game. Of course, I won't be playing it. I'll be letting the simulation do its work, so we'll probably lose 4-0. Let's get into it. I'm going to sort my nose out because for some reason it wants to run today. I know it has Klopp as the manager on that graphic. Unfortunately, I can't change the manager. Um, yeah, it's something out with my control. Arne Slot obviously is the manager now for Liverpool. He's got a good start for them as well, which is concerning. But we might be able to bring that good start to an end. Although Salah has just danced straight through, and I didn't take long at all. I've not even started the score predictions yet. I've not even started what I was thinking. It's already 1-0 to Liverpool in this simulation. Fair enough, I suppose. You know what? Fair enough. You can't argue with class, can you? Right, so the first game of the lot then is Arsenal versus Brighton. both teams winning their opening games, their opening two games. Arsenal still yet to concede, and Brighton obviously have conceded, but they're started off well. They beat Man United, which is not really a big achievement anymore nowadays, but they still beat us, and went up to 6 points alongside Arsenal. This is going to be the one that breaks it, I think, because I think Arsenal will just edge it out over Brighton. But you don't know in the Premier League, although I think I'm going to guess an Arsenal win here. It just feels like Arsenal, it could be their year, genuinely, and Brighton will keep this momentum up, in my opinion. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal win. I'm saying 2-0 just purely because Arsenal's defence is quite good, isn't it? And Brighton might score one, but I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I feel that's a safe bet. In my opinion, anyway. I might be wrong, who knows? But that's just my opinion. That's the whole point of these scoreline predictions. So, coming up next then, Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. Forest have done a bit better than I expected them to do. I expected them to go down, and they still might, but they started off this season quite well. And they've got Wolves who have struggled so far this season. A 6-2 loss last weekend will not help their chances. Forest will win over Southampton, I think it was, I said. So that's going to be a difficult match for Wolves, especially in their current form. I'd honestly back Forest here. Christ, I might have thought I was going to let it in. I back Forest here. I'm going to say it's going to be close because Wolves do have some firepower, but I don't know if Cunha's still injured. I don't know what the stats is on him. And with Forest, they seem to be in a good groove right now. I can't believe this video game. Well, anyway, I'm gonna say 1-0 to Forest. I think they'll just beat Wolves. I don't think it'll be that far apart, but Forest just have a little bit more, and I'm already regretting putting them in the drop zone because they actually look quite decent, but there's still a long way of the season to go. I'm gonna put 1-0 I think for Forest. Bear with me, my nose is just he's not playing well today. Sorry about that. Next match then on the list is Leicester versus Aston Villa. Now Leicester had a bit of a mixed start. I think they drew against Spurs, didn't they? And then they lost, I want to say at Fulham, but they lost last weekend anyway. Aston Villa, again, another one with a mixed start. They did win their first weekend, I think, or was it a draw? I don't remember now. It's actually been a while. I think they won against West Ham, and then they lost to Arsenal, which is no mean feat, to be honest. And no real surprise. Arsenal look like they are cooking this season, and Villa obviously do as well, but Arsenal just a better team on the day. However, I think Villa would be the better team over Leicester, and I think it'll be close again because Leicester might try and make the King Power a fortress this season, but Aston Villa will come out on top, and I'm going to say a 2-1 victory for Aston Villa in the end. But Leicester might put up more fighting spirit than what I think they will, to be honest with you. It just feels like Aston Villa, if they want to go for those back-to-back Champions League places that they're planning on going for, then they'll need to win games like this, and I think they will. I don't think there's much danger in that occurring. Up next then, for the fourth game of the weekend, it is Ipswich Town versus Fulham. It's a difficult one to pick because Fulham have had a decent start to the season. Ipswich have lost both their games. But surely the tide turns to Ipswich soon, especially because both their losses haven't been against small clubs or anything like that. They've had to start against Liverpool and Manchester City. It's not the easiest of starts for a newly promoted club. And I think when you play against Fulham, they're not obviously top tier. Jesus Christ, Rashford. They're not really. They're above what Ipswich are right now, I would say. But they're a bit of an easier opponent than what they've faced the past 2 weeks. Is my point. And I think that Fulham will probably win this, but it's going to be a lot closer than what the other scorelines have been. I'm going to say it's 1-0 Fulham. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a close run thing. It'll really show what Ipswich are capable of. If Ipswich do get a point, then fair play to them. It shows what they're capable of and what they can do. but it's going to have to be now if they want to get some points on the board so they don't get dragged down to that relegation battle quickly. And the final game then before the half-time whistle is Brentford versus Southampton. Two teams that will probably looking to avoid relegation. Brentford have just sold Tony to Saudi Arabia, so he won't be there anymore. It means they'll have to go with a new attack. And we've talked about that as well. And Buemo, Vissa, and I think Shade, I don't know how you pronounce it. He's going to be up front somewhere along the line as well. They'll have to make do now because the window's closed. And I think that they'll probably do all right. I don't think that they're going to win this one, though. I'm going to go for another boring 0-0 draw. Southampton, again, don't have the firepower, but they have got the defensive assets now. They've signed Ramsdale in on deadline day. That's a brilliant signing. With Brentford losing Tony, I just initially don't see where the goals come from. So I'm going to say 0-0. But it is going to be interesting. I wonder who's going to get the better of it, because I reckon whoever gets the better of that probably doesn't get relegated out of two. I know it's early to say because it's only game week 3, but both teams probably in for a relegation battle. If one of them wins over the other, they're probably helping themselves a lot more. As you can see on the screen, the win probability for Man United is 3%. It's about a win probability in real life, to be honest, but you just never know with this team. Yeah, we've had nothing this simulation. Liverpool had 2 goals. I think it was Jota who scored the first one and Trent who got second. Garnacho's offside. Christ's sake, boys. Closing in on half-time on the simulation. 2-0 to Liverpool. It could be 3 yet before the break occurs. Martinez blocks, and it will be away. But I hope this isn't like it's going to be like in real life, because we've created nothing. It's tackled by Trent. That'll be the break. And I'm dreading having to actually predict this scoreline, because I think it might be the first time I actually predict against Manchester United. Yeah, Xerxes not really being unlocked today. That's a problem when you have one striker when the other one's injured. We've been playing Fernandes up top as well, so I don't really know what the strategy is going to be tomorrow, but it's fine. We'll do something, I hope. But anyway, take a look at the stats at half-time then in this one. Liverpool are dominant. It's 52 to 48 in terms of possession for us, somehow. 9 shots to 1 in favour of Liverpool, 1.6 expected goals to 0.0. It's pretty poor as we head into the second half then, and we finish off these predictions. We rattle them off, and probably won't go extra time this time because it looks like we're going to lose this one. Like last weekend when we played against Brighton, and we took a Premier League game to extra time because it was funny. But you just never know. The magic of the game. Okay, never mind. Rashford's getting bodied. Still got a ball though. Right, so the next one on the list, Everton versus Bournemouth. If I'm being transparent, I've absolutely from what I've seen so far in Everton, I've absolutely no confidence in them. They might genuinely go down. This might be the season they go down. They just don't seem like a Premier League club. Like, they're not playing well. I don't think they've scored a goal yet this season. Lost to Spurs. And I think, who else did they play? They lost to Brighton as well. They've been hammered by both teams. It doesn't look good for Everton. I don't think that's going to stop, because Bournemouth have got some new players, especially some new strikers, who will look to punish the Everton defence. The only reason I don't think this is going to be a smashing is because of Jordan Pickford. I'm going to say 2-0 to Brighton. I just don't see Everton scoring. And it's also not Brighton, it's fucking... Who the fuck is it? Bournemouth. I'm going to say 2-0 to Bournemouth. Because, of course, they've got the new strikers. They've got the quality around the pitch. Everton have the quality around the pitch as well. They're just not making it work. And I just don't see a situation where Everton win this. Or even get a point, which is mad, because you'd usually expect back them to get at least a point or something. Something out of the game, but I just don't see that right now for Everton. and I don't know when they're going to get points. And if they get a points deduction, if that's still coming into play, they're fucked. They're going to go down. Bear me again. I noticed in the simulation, Xerxes got a yellow card for his foul, but Trent didn't get one for his foul, and it's probably an identical foul. I'm not saying anything, though. I'm not saying it's EA bias or anything. Right, up next then on the list, it is West Ham hosting Manchester City at the London Stadium, obviously, because they're hosting it. Why would you ask such a silly question? It is going to be an interesting one with, I think, City winning, but West Ham, with all their new talent, with all their new focus, it's not going to be an easy ride for Pep's men, and I'm going to say it's just going to be a win. I don't think it's going to be convincing because West Ham do seem like they have their heads screwed on this season so far. I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester City. If I can spell City, that would be good. On my notes, but I have now spelled it correctly. And that's where I think the game's going to go. It's going to be an incredible close one. Haaland probably bags again because it's Haaland. From then on, I'm not really sure where it goes. I know we're going to be... Oh, we're not going to be 3-0 down. Plus, I put it wrong side of the post. We're talking to Bayern Deer for some reason on the touchline there. But yeah, basically, it's just going to be a bigger test than what you think it might be for Man City because of West Ham's new signings, of West Ham's new vision. It's going to be a difficult one, but City will win. It just won't be as cut and dry as the other two games have been this season. We are doing absolutely nothing to this Liverpool side. There's no way this is going to be a draw, let alone a win. Garnacho coming on now for, coming off for Anthony. That's not really the change you want to make. But fair enough, I suppose. It's Ten Hag. He likes to switch things up. Now we're getting on to tomorrow's games. The first one, Chelsea will host Crystal Palace. It is, it's a difficult one because Palace, they've got all this new talent. They've got a new manager, and they're struggling a little bit to start this season. Whereas Chelsea have got all this new talent, got a new manager, and they're doing quite well. They just won 6-2. Rashford, please put this away. Oh my fucking god. That's a corner. Fair enough. Right, okay. I was about to scream. That went way over, but it is a corner. But yeah, it's a difficult one to pick because Chelsea probably will win. But the problem is Chelsea have this habit of going and winning 6-2 and then they'll lose 3-0 the next week. And I just don't know. If they can find consistency, they're dangerous. But I don't know if they can find that consistency. I'm going to back them for a win over Palace because Palace has struggled, like I said. And Chelsea are doing quite well. So what I'm going to say is it's not going to be no fucking 6-goal thriller or whatever the fuck it was against Wolves. It's going to be 2-1, I reckon, to Chelsea. I was toying with a 2-2 draw, honestly, but we're going to say 2-1. We're going to say 2-1 to Chelsea. Oh, we got a goal back, Xerxes. I missed it because I was writing down the Chelsea Palace scoreline I predicted. What happened here then? So, pass back in. Who's number 40? Is that Mazraoui? Pass back into Xerxes. And it's actually well hit. Alisson should do better with that, but it is well hit still. But we're back on the score sheet. Might be a chance of rescuing something out of this game, which is good, which is fair enough. Following that then is me sorting out my nose, and then we'll get to the next game. Sorry about this. My nose just seems to want to not play ball today. But anyway, Liverpool scored in. I missed it. I just tried to sort my nose. What exactly happened here then? Down the line. Nobody's marking. Salah has the easiest header in the world. Lovely. Right, fair enough. 3-1 Liverpool in the simulation. But for the next game, Newcastle versus Spurs. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be an interesting one as well. Because I don't know which way it's going to go. Spurs probably look the better side going into this one. Newcastle have got high ambitions, but didn't really sign anyone in the transfer window. Well, they did, but they didn't sign anyone that they wanted to sign in the transfer window. It looks like a struggle maybe now for Newcastle, but they do still have some good talent. And Spurs have that bottling gene in them, so it's a difficult one to predict. I'm going to go a 2-2 draw, I think. I think it's going to be a high-scoring draw. Spurs won't be able to finish off Newcastle, and Newcastle will nick a point, I think, here at St James's Park. That's where my head is going with this one. And I could be incorrect. That's the whole point of fucking score predictions. I've been incorrect. I didn't get any right last week. I got one right the week before. But I'm close to them each time, it seems to be. Just never seem to get the actual scoreline. And then for the final game of the weekend, God forbid, Manchester United versus Liverpool. The bias of my team really makes me want to, pick us to win, or at least us to put in some kind of effort. But realistically, if we're being dead ass, we probably lose this match. And I don't want to go against my own team, especially against a team like Liverpool, but we probably lose this match. We're losing it on the simulation. We've lost it many a time recently. And I do have belief in the new players, don't get me wrong, I do have it, but Liverpool has started off like a house on fire. We're still losing to teams like Brighton. No offense, Brighton, they've done quite well this season, but we're still losing to teams that aren't in the big six. It just doesn't compute for me at the moment, and I'm not going to fucking go against us too much. I'm only going to predict a small win for Liverpool, because I can't bring myself to predict a massive win for them. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool, as much as it pains me to say. I should really back my team, but I can't right now. It'll click eventually, I reckon. It'll get a bit better for us, but this weekend, Liverpool probably take 3 points. We get nothing out of this match. But I think that's everything, and I really don't want to go against my team, obviously, but sometimes you just got to be honest. There might be a chance we get a point. I just don't see us getting 3. There's still an opportunity here for Manchester United in the simulation. That's an awful spillage by Alisson as Fernandes takes the shot. It's spilled by Alisson straight to Rashford, who just slides it away. That's poor from the goalkeeper, but it is smart from Rashford. We might still get extra time yet. Man United need a goal quick. Is there still chance for the Red Devils? Or Liverpool done enough? I reckon Liverpool just piss around with the ball now till full time. Or they'll go for it and score again. God forbid Onana holds on to the ball. Corner Liverpool as we close proceedings. Once this game's over, of course, it doesn't look like we're going to get extra time in a Premier League game again. Once this game's over, we'll go over the results, and that will be that for week 3. And yeah, it's a little late, I apologise, but also at least I've done it. I meant to do it yesterday, completely forgot, ran out of time. Did it now quickly, get it out of the way. Did Liverpool have one more in them? 6 added minutes. Luis Diaz. Oh, fucking hell. Nearly deflects off Salah into the net. We've still got time if we can make one more attack at us. Imagine if we make this 3-3 now, it'd be fucking mental. I doubt we do it, but there's still the time, there's still the opportunity. We just need to play good football, which is the biggest ask of them all. I don't reckon we even get out of the pitch in time. I reckon we're just going to pass it around the back and not have any urgency. Yeah, lovely. But great pass, Anthony. I'm so glad you play for Manchester United, mate. Well, Liverpool come out on top in the simulation. We got 2, they got 3. And I feel like it's going to be a similar story in real life. Obviously, Klopp not there now. I can't change the manager. I'm just concerned about Sunday because I don't like playing against Liverpool at the best of times, but only 3 games into the season, we could struggle. But I will believe in my team. I've obviously not backed them in the score predictions, but I will believe that we can do something. I just hope the belief isn't misguided. So let's take a look at the stats then from this game. 3-2 to Liverpool in the simulation. Winner, world-class AI. Yeah, we know. Right, match facts. They deserved it, pretty much, is what the game is saying here. 52 at 48 times possession. We still had a lot more of the ball, but they had 16 shots to our 6 and 3.6 expected goals to our 2.2, which is not me gusta, in my opinion. Not something I would say is a good idea, really. Hopefully we don't replicate that in real life. So, to go over my scoreline predictions then before we end off here, let's have a little look-see then, if my phone wants to respond. It does not. Right, so for week 3 then, I've got Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Wolves 0, Leicester 1, Aston Villa 2, Ipswich 0, Fulham 1, Brentford 0, Southampton 0, Everton 0, Bournemouth 2, West Ham 1, Man City 2, Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 2, Spurs 2, and the most painful one of them all, Manchester United 1, Liverpool 2. Now I'm about to sneeze, so give me a second. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up week 3 of the Premier League predictions. I will try and do them earlier next weekend because I completely forgot to do them yesterday. But I really hope that Man United can get something out of this game. I don't see it somehow, but you just never know. You can believe. I can believe, and that's all I've got right now. But I hope you guys enjoy the football this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next weekend for match week 4, and I will try and do it at a better time. Take care, and peace.